welcome, ladies and gentlemen, from Pillar to Post, right here live, 1650 PWAM, 1650 PWAM Pro Wrestling and more. Speaking of and more, Jeff Edwards just dropped a brand new podcast, a brand new episode of Blading for Truth today. Be sure to go ahead and check that out on the channel. But on the line right now, CWF Mid-Atlantic Week rolls on. It's been dubbed CWF Mid-Atlantic Week by the fans. We never really set it out to be that way. We got on with Grant Sawyer Tuesday night, talked a little bit about this match as well. It's been what has been dubbed by a lot of people Match of the Year. We have one of the participants in that match. I'm going to read these names off here. And it's a long list of names, but I hope Chip will indulge me while I read these here. We have I'm not trying to upstage Brad Stutz by any means, but he's the James Dean of wrestling, the Kennesaw Kick Machine, Atlanta's Arrow, Kick Jagger, the South's Best Kept Secret, Wrestling's Last Rebel, Do or Die, Chip Effin Day. Chip Day, how are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing all right. And there's actually about 20 more of those saved in my phone. I gotta be fair everywhere I go, you know.
Just so people know, Chip is traveling right now. He's in a bad part of the state, so if we lose him, we'll try to give him a call right back. It is live radio, folks, so just bear with us here. Man, a lot going on since this match, Chip. It's been released about a week. It's been about a month, I want to say, since the match actually happened live in the CWF Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium. Of course, be sure to check out CWF247.com and also their YouTube channel to actually go watch the match. But I have to ask you, I want to start, before we get to that match, I want to kind of start at the beginning of your career, because I'll be honest with you, I tried to research you a little bit, and there's not a lot out there about you. So tell people about, who trained you, how you got in the business, all that good stuff.
All right, so like my trainers, I get there's a list of them that I credit with training me. I'll start with Murder One, Corey Chavis, Jimmy Rave, Sal Renaro, Air Paris of WCW fame, and Terry Lawler, who is he's somewhat of a Georgia legend. He's a local guy that has done a lot for wrestlers in the state. And those are the guys that I give credit for the crazy, ridiculous talking guy that you guys see in the ring all the time. So that's my trainers.
Now, when did you very first start off? Because again, upon trying to research you, I saw 1998, I saw 2001, I saw 2005. Go ahead and sum it up. When did you actually break into the business? Chip, you still with us? We're starting to lose you a little bit.
Yeah.
Give it just a second here. It sounds like you're passing through a bad area. I do apologize, folks. It's live radio.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead and re-give your answer again, because you were cutting out there. Did we lose you, Chip? I think we lost Chip Day. Live radio, folks. Don't you love it? Give me 1 second here. Let's try to call Chip Day back here. Hold on. Give me 1 moment here.
Hey, sorry I can.
Oh, man. Hold on. We'll try to get him back here in just a moment, folks. He was traveling through a bad area. So we will grant Chip Day a little bit of leniency. I can understand, especially if he's traveling through the country part of Georgia. I definitely know how that is from being a former truck driver myself. If you have questions for Chip Day, the email addresses are on your screen right there. The Twitter addresses are on your screen right there, at Joe Pillar to Post, and then you can email us, pillartopost at 1650@yahoo.com. The Facebook page, I'm really not paying much attention to tonight. So if you're a Twitter user, go there. If you're not a Twitter user, go ahead and email us. Let's see if we can get Chip back on the line here. Again, live radio, and he said he was traveling.
And
That's okay. Are you still with me?
yeah, man.
Okay. Go ahead and give your answer one more time as to like what year you actually started in the business, if you could, please, because you really kind of crapped out on us there.
Yeah. Sorry. Georgia's terrible about cell service.
I used to be
I had my first match when I was 13.
Wow.
My opponent both giving each other like splashes
Mm-hmm.
and DDTs and missing flips on top of them. Because, like flips equal good wrestling at 9 years old, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or 13, yeah, I was 13. And then, like, I started wrestling and trying to go out at least somewhere every weekend and do that. In 2017, I've been wrestling almost 13 years.
Wow.
14 years now, yeah.
That's crazy for a young guy like you. I mean, you look really young in the ring. So, I gotta admit something, folks. Here we do have a couple of questions here about that one match with Chip Day, and that's what everybody's asking questions about here. Give me one moment here. Let me pull up here. There's one I want to go ahead and get through as many fan questions as we can before we lose you here. Are you still with us?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I looked this up on the internet, and I found some different definitions of it, so maybe you could give us a little bit more in-depth here. This question was sent in by a guy named Brett Eisen. He goes, Chip, when was the last time you otter-styled? Oh, man, we lost Chip again. The joys of cell phones in Georgia, folks. Let me give him a few more minutes and we'll call back. I'm going to try to get this interview in today. If we can't, we may have to go ahead and reschedule here. Give me 1 second.
Hey, sorry I couldn't pick up the phone, but leave me a name.
All right. Looks like I may have to go ahead and send him an email, folks. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to shoot him a quick email, see if he'll respond to us. The joys of live radio. That's what we try to bring you here on From Pillow to Post. If we need, I was debating on whether or not to do this pre-recorded or not, and it looks like maybe I should have. It's not Chip Day's fault. It's not my fault, of course. It's cell phone's fault, and the fact that they don't put cell phone towers everywhere in the Deep South. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up a quick commercial break. I'm going to come right back. I'm going to see if I can text Chip Day, and we will be back here in just a few moments. Stay with us, folks. We will be right back.
Here's real turboprop aerial action. Here's Tonka's Hand Command turboprop. You can put an action figure aboard, spin the props, retract the wheels, climb, zoom, and dive. You can pretend to fly anywhere. Action figure not included. Hand Command turboprop toy plane. From Tonka.
This boy is losing his grip. Why did he lose his grip so soon? He didn't fuel up with a good breakfast. Cheerio! Like this good, nutritious breakfast with toast, juice, milk, and yummy Cheerios, which has almost no sugar. When you fuel up in the morning with a Cheerios breakfast,
It'll really get you going.
Out they go to spend their dough without their common sense. They're the dough nuts. Gordon Graham Gans specialized in true romance, and he tried at every chance to make it clear. He was suave, debonair. He used oil on his hair. As for girls, well, they thought Gordon Gans was weird. Gordon thought he'd be just like those actors on TV if he used all the products that they sold. With manly muscles, skin so tan, happy hair, and cologne for man. He dreamed the girls would lose their self-control. Well, it hasn't worked so far, though he buys things by the carload. Tubes and bottles, jars and boxes, there he goes. 'Cause he's sure someday he'll pick just the thing to do the trick, and overnight he'll change to instant Romeo. There's a moral to be heeded. Do you really, really need it? Will all your dreams come true if you just try it? Sometimes changing from within is the best place to begin. Think of Gordon Graham Gans before you buy it.
All right, I've been told. I just got a message from Chip. He says his cell service is better now. Let's see. Thanks for hanging on with us, folks. We really appreciate you tuning in.
I am so sorry, you guys.
It's okay. It's fine. Hey, look, I'm a former truck driver. I've been everywhere, so I know. Especially down in the South, they don't like putting cell towers everywhere. So I know how it is.
So true.
So one thing I wanted to ask you here is we had an email question. Again, this comes from Brett Eisen. I have no idea what this means.
Okay.
Yeah, I know by the question you already know who it is, and it's probably somebody ribbing you. So I just wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and ask anyway. I looked it up online, and the definitions I found for this are not, appropriate for on air, but if you want to say what it is, go ahead. Well, I should say appropriate on air. We curse like a motherfucker on this show, so go ahead and say what it is. When was the last time you otter styled?
Oh, man. Probably last night, honestly. Okay, so, it was a trip up to IWA Mid-South. It was, one of my two. And, we're on the way back, and I've got nation with otters. Freshwater otters. I mean, they're adorable, and I kind of want to be one when I get reunited in some other lifetime.
Right.
And so I was just really lazy. I just laid down and I laid my nuggets on my stomach and I just ate off my stomach because
okay.
Otter style.
I thought you were going to say something else there for a minute, but anyway, because I looked.
Oh no!
I looked up.
Now I'm going to have to go look up definitions.
I'll be honest with you. I looked it up. I was like, okay, this is a rib. So I looked it up on. I'll be honest, and folks, no disrespect for this, but I looked it up on Urban Dictionary, and it's otter is a short, furry, gay guy, and I'm like, really? Somebody would ask that? Couple questions here from a show regular of ours, Robert Ventura. He wanted me to ask you, and one of these questions is about that match with Trevor Lee. He goes, backstage before your match with Trevor, did you already know that you were going to create and make something truly magical, or was the match completely happenstance, just came together organically? I'll add to that, how much of it was. I could judge by y'all's reactions that this was not something that was totally called backstage. And if I know Trevor Lee, a lot of his stuff isn't sometimes.
Right.
So go ahead. How much of this was, how much was this talked over in the back? How much of this was in the ring? Did you know what y'all were going to do going into it? Did you know it was going to be as big as it has become?
I
think you're cutting out on me again.
Is it okay? Any better now?
Much better now. Go ahead and start over because you cut out as soon as you started talking.
Okay. I didn't know it was going to swell into what it's become so far, which has been shocking and very surreal to me to just think that one little match like that could just blow up. And really shattering the fourth wall here for everybody. Nah, man, I really had a structure to do, but really all we put a lot of time into going over was that home stretch, and that was it. But it felt special that night. I was in a zone that day, And I think that definitely helped add to the intensity in that match. But it just felt really special, just even going over anything that we were. And then, to go out there and for everything just come off and across exactly how I wanted it and how I think he wanted it to be. That was magic, man. There's no other way to describe it.
It was just one of those things where you knew those two guys just clicked. And even when you wrestled for CWF a couple weeks before in that six-pack challenge match, you and him you didn't have a whole lot of interaction with each other, but you clicked then. And I'm imagining that's why Brad Stutz brung you into fate for this match.
Well, that's the thing is, this probably isn't public knowledge because, as you said, you couldn't really find a whole lot. Trevor was actually my first match against anybody in the Carolinas since 2008, I think, is when,
You're cutting out on us again, sir.
Better.
Much better. Actually, you wrestled in 2015, I want to say, for PWX during night 2 of their X16 tournament because I was there live.
Yeah, that was the first real singles match that me and Trevor ever had. And we'd been trying to have that match since 2013. So he was okay. So me and Corey Hollis were teaming when we first came up to the Carolinas. We got to wrestle Trevor and Ben Tyler on a PWX show in Lancaster, South Carolina that drew maybe 10 people paid. And it was the first time I'd ever met Trevor. I liked him. He was a funny dude. And then we go out there and he super kicked me in the back of the head and knocked me out.
Wow.
Gave me a concussion and everything. So it's one of those things, the people you click most with and get along with most, you go that much harder in the ring with, I feel. And so, yeah, and with me and him, it's always just clicked.
Did you know that, obviously this was only your second time in that sportatorium, at least that I've seen you, for CWF. I want to say that I've heard that you wrestled for them one other time before that, but it's only the second time I've ever seen you in that building. Did you know that there was a different crowd than your previous shot there? Because this was full of, you had Papa Hales there, John Filipavage, Dylan Hales was there. You had Bruce Mitchell in the crowd. A lot of people who normally really, Bruce Mitchell is there just about every show, but a lot of people who normally don't come there were there that night. Is that something you guys discussed and played into, was that a factor in this match at all for you guys?
No, not really. I mean, I knew Papa and Dylan Hales were both going to be there. Dylan kept messaging me and was telling me that he was coming. He made a cross-country trip to be there that night, which, I told him he was insane, but he wanted to be there for that match, especially. So, that meant a lot to me. And anytime I get to see Papa Hales is cool because, he let's be honest, he's one of the craziest, coolest people of all time. And everybody loves him. So, yeah, that was cool. But it wasn't anything oh man, we've got all these people out here. We need to go out here so we get over on Twitter for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So that was the happenstance, and we just went out there and we both wanted to kill shit. So
you definitely did kill shit that night. Let me tell you, man. That crowd was actually, I'll be honest with you, the type of crowd the regulars at CWF shows aren't used to seeing. They're used to seeing damn good wrestling, but they're not used to seeing. I don't want to say this, but to anybody listening from CWF, no disrespect, they're not used to seeing something like that. They're not used to seeing something that Twitter goes crazy for. They're not used to seeing something that Meltzer and Mitchell and everybody else just boast about for 2 weeks straight, like you said on Twitter. They definitely got a treat that night. They get a treat every night they go to the Sportatorium. Again, CWF247.com. Get your tickets for their next event in Chapel Hill right now. Another question here from Robert Ventura here before we go back to that one match here. He goes, what bands/musicians are on your iPod playlist when you work out in the gym?
Oh man. Okay, so God, that's extensive. There's a band from Atlanta called Issues. I'm pretty sure they're pretty well known. I love them so much. A Day to Remember. I like Sleeping with Sirens. Yeah, I'm a dude and I like Sleeping with Sirens. Fight me. God, I like Bring Me the Horizon. I like Escape the Fate. There's a band Paris that's really good. They got a chick lead singer and she kills shit. Just a lot of stuff, man. Like I'll just put it on shuffle on my YouTube music and just let shit play. Attila from Georgia as well. They fill me with rage and allow me to lift heavy things sometimes. So
There you go.
yeah.
I gotta ask the arrow thing. I'm assuming you got green hair. I'm assuming we're gonna talk comics here for a second, folks. So indulge me. I'm assuming you're a Green Arrow fan.
Yes. Yes.
Do you watch the CW show?
Oh, I watched the CW show. The thing about it though is I haven't seen anything past the mid-season finale, so I'm way lost. I saw the end of an episode a few weeks back. It was the one where Ollie was being held in the DA's office or wherever he was.
Uh-huh.
And he made him admit that he actually liked killing. And like that was the one episode that I saw past the mid-season finale that I was like, what the hell's going on?
So you pretty much got the gist of
who. Yeah, I haven't seen anything past the mid-season at all.
So you pretty much got the gist of who Prometheus is, though.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you. That show right there to me, it's a Batman show only with Green Arrow in it. I mean, I do agree with that criticism that it's very much Batman-ish with the League of Shadows and all that, but it kills every single week. I don't think I've seen a bad episode of that show yet.
No.
So I saw on your Twitter feed, going to bring up another thing that's kind of nerdy. I grew up with it. You bought a Power Rangers communicator and put a photo of it on Twitter and goes, should I make decisions or not make decisions? I think it was. What decision should I make? And then, sometime later, the communicator's on your wrist and goes, guess I made the right decision. Were you a Power Rangers fan as a kid like I was?
Oh, I love Power Rangers. I still love Power Rangers.
Me too. I don't like the newer stuff, but the classic stuff that I grew up with, everything from Power Rangers in space back. I absolutely love. Have you seen
the movie?
I was getting ready to ask you the same thing. I have not. I have not seen the movie. Have you?
Oh, dude, it's so good.
It is good.
It's so good.
All right,
people want to shit on it because it's not like what we grew up with, but come on, it's 2017. It's a reboot. I'm kind of actually glad that when people get hit, sparks don't fly.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that because, root it in reality and give it to me. It's the best Power Rangers thing I think I've seen in a really long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have to go check that out then.
It's so good.
I'm definitely going to check it out when it comes on video. I'm imagining it'll come out on video like beginning of summer or whatever.
Oh, probably so.
So how is your, I got to ask this, and you can tell me yes, no, kiss my ass, whatever you want to say. Based off this match with Trevor Lee being released a week ago, it was a week ago yesterday, how is your career taking a turn, I know it's only been a week, but, people have been raving and ranting on it on Twitter for a month. So how has your life changed at all? Has your career changed at all since this match has been put out there?
I think people kind of pimping the match out to certain, promotions and stuff is going to help give me a little bit of a boost. I kind of put myself in contact with Battle Club Pro after somebody had tweeted and they were like, oh, you need to book these guys. And somebody sent them the match and I liked it and retweeted it. And then I messaged their Facebook page. I need to send them a booking email because I'm an idiot and I let stuff slip my mind all the time. But I'm trying to get to New York. Cause I'd love to wrestle in New York. I think I think that'd be awesome. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, well,
So I think that'd be cool.
It's not like you haven't been up north. I want to tell people because I believe on your Twitter feed, unless it was just a joke, you've wrestled for CZW, correct?
Yep. I was the best of the best last year in the Ultimate Opportunity Scramble, and then before that, I'd went up for a scramble match at Cage of Death last year.
So you're no stranger to what I call New England crowds because, like you said, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And I think the Northeast has had this stigma, which I think the South is gradually changing that with promotions like PWX and with promotions like CWF Mid-Atlantic, is that the Northeast is the place to be. Do you find that that's still true?
No, not really. I think, I mean, like, is it valuable to travel and wrestle in front of those crowds? Yeah, but like, I think I've got this feeling that to get over for real in front of those crowds, like, you have to be in front of them every single week or every single month, or you have to die in front of them to like earn their respect.
Yeah.
And even sometimes when you die in front of them, they still fucking shit on you.
Ugh.
So like, it happens.
I will
but
say they are the most arrogant. You know, I made a comment about the crowd during yours and Trevor's match. I called it Smart Row, which really upset a lot of people. And I didn't mean to offend anybody by that comment, but I feel like the Northeast, every row up there is Smart Row. You know,
they want to be. And the best thing I think I've heard in a long time is Al Snow on a YouTube like video of one of his seminars. He said, "Who's the biggest marks?" And everybody has no idea what to say. And he goes, "The ones that think they're not."
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like that is a great explanation of these quote unquote smart marks. You know what I mean? Because they think they're smart to it, which makes them think that they're not marks. But in reality, that makes them the biggest marks that there are.
All right, so I have to ask here, and I'm not trying to get a fellow 1650 network buddy in trouble with you. I was not trying to.
Uh-huh.
But, and I know you made a comment on Twitter that you're not going to be a crying little indie boy. But
yeah, I'm not going to be angry indie boy at all.
Angry indie boy. But AC, our friend Daddy Cool AC, had some strong comments about your match the other night. And you said you wanted to respond, so you have an open forum. Go ahead and do so.
I don't know who it was that decided to ask what kind of look I'm going for.
Uh-oh.
If I'm going for the Kevin Owens without a shirt look.
Ooh.
One, I'm much lighter than Kevin. Two, Kevin makes a lot of money. Three, I'm sorry that, I've been out of the gym for a little bit, and I've been actually moving into a new house and trying to get my life settled. So, like, I haven't been hitting the gym as hard as I should have been, but in my opinion, abs do not make the athlete. Like, I'm gonna put this out there. Ryan Klesko, amazing player for the Braves for years,
Yep.
was a chunkier dude, but nobody ever questioned, like, oh, well, like, does Ryan Klesko have a six-pack under that? Or like, oh, Mark McGuire, you set the home run record for God, who I don't even remember how many years it was until Barry Bonds broke it, right? So, like, did anybody ever ask Mark McGuire to see his abs?
As a baseball
Like,
player
that's it. That's it. I don't think abs make the athlete. That's all.
I think also he was commenting on your ring attire. You wear almost what's like fight shorts, and I think that's what he was commenting on more than anything. Not your physique.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because the way I took it was it's always a shot at my physique is how I take stuff. Especially when I hear heavier guys mentioned in comparison to me,
The Sandwich Squad main evented that night, for crying out loud. So, I mean, come on. But I think it was more or less, your ring gear. Everybody, I think, and I even shot back at him. I was like, dude, name me one wrestler that isn't wearing, black trunks like Trevor Lee or fight shorts. It's the cool thing to do nowadays.
That and like, okay, so I didn't steal that from Kevin. I actually wanted to be like American Tozawa when I first switched to the shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Because I switched to the shorts because everybody was wearing trunks. And then I switched to the shorts, and it seems like everybody wanted to switch to pleather shorts again. it's just really weird how stuff happens like that. Like, to the point lately, I've been like, well, maybe I should go back to trunks.
No.
And then, like, I've got people telling me, oh, wrestle in a singlet or wrestle in long tights, and I'm just like, that's not me. I kind of just want to stick to the shorts.
Nah, stick to
So-
the shorts. I like the fight shorts, especially, you know, with the, you actually have to study the shorts that you're wearing because they have shit printed all over them that you can't see unless you're up close. So it gives people,
Right.
you know, a reason to actually look at you and pay attention to you a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I like having busy gear, man. It's fun.
Oh yeah, you got
It makes people look at you that much more. Exactly, right?
One of the things Rob Van Dam is known for was his damn airbrush singlets. So yeah,
Yep.
you know, I want to ask one thing that we touched on during our conversation the other night. Thank you for listening to that conversation, by the way. The crying after the match. I don't think you were crying. It didn't look like you were crying to me. They said you're
Oh,
crying.
no, those were tears.
Were they?
I'm not even going to front. Like, yeah, those were tears, man. Like I said, I was in a zone that night, and I haven't exactly been in the best mental state in the last 3 or 4 months. Luckily, within the past month or so, things with me have taken a bit of a better turn for myself,
That's good.
which is good. But yeah, man, like at the end of that match, it was like the response I got from those people made me feel like, you know, this wrestling stuff isn't just something that I do for fun. Like, there's a reason I do it, and it's to evoke emotions like that. And like, it was kind of vindicating to myself of everything I've been going through with myself. Like, I still went out and killed it that night. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I lost my shot at the title and now I'm crying about it. Like, no, man, like it was one of those self-realization moments of, okay, well, I just hung in there for 30 minutes with one of the best wrestlers in the world. And like, I guess this response is telling me, okay, you're on your way. Go get it.
That's what I was saying. I was telling them, like, those were like legit, what the fuck did I just do tears, you know? Those
Right.
are,
Yeah, no, exactly.
you know, it's like what just happened? Pretty much is like what I equated it to. And, you know, Brad coming up to you, hugging you. I've always been a Chip Day guy. I'll be honest with you. I was not going to go to that show. And when they posted they revealed your match with Trevor about 4 days prior to that. I want to say that Wednesday. So 3 days prior. When they announced that match, I went to my girlfriend and I was like, by hook or by fucking crook, I don't care if I have to go by myself. I'm going to be there that day. I had to be there to see that match because I knew the second that match was announced that I was going to see something special. I didn't know it was going to be quite that special, but I knew that it was going to be a spectacle. It was going to be something to see. It was not going to be a traditional CWF Mid-Atlantic match, if there is a such thing as a CWF Mid-Atlantic match, folks. I'm putting up air quotes. You can't see me, but I am. So I knew that I had to be there to see it because I'd seen you live before in PWX, and I knew what you could bring to the table. And hopefully, now that this is getting out there nationally, I mean, it's on YouTube for free, for crying out loud. If you're not getting bookings out the ass based off this match, and I know for those listening, you're not going to get that out of any wrestler every single match, but just know that, you know, when it does happen, it's something that you definitely got to see. Trevor, I want to go ahead and you know, give you this time. I know you sound like you're traveling, so we're going to let you get to where you need to get to. And I said I wouldn't keep you for no more than 30 to 45 minutes anyway. But go ahead, tell everybody any kind of bookings that you have going on. I have your Twitter handle up here on my on our screen where people can look at it and find out where they can follow you at on Twitter. So you don't really need to mention that unless you want to. But
Okay.
what do you have coming up? Where can people find you? Where can people find your merch? Stuff like that. Go ahead.
Okay, so this weekend I'm at Universal Independent Wrestling in Buchanan, Georgia. It's a small little independent show outside of the city. I'm wrestling a guy named Donnie Primetime. I'm going to make short work of him. But apparently he beat one of my trainers last time he was at UIW, so he must be kind of worth a little something, I guess. And then, like, I'm not anywhere on Sunday, so I'm just going to be chilling. Tonight I'm actually traveling out to pick somebody up right now, and then I'm headed back to my house. And my buddy Slade Porter from the Young Hierarchy is going to be hanging out with me for a little bit.
He's done matches with CWF as well, so yeah, I know Slade.
Yeah, that's my dude. I love Slade.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening this weekend. Next weekend, I'm in Jeffersonville, Indiana on Friday to defend my Pro Wrestling Freedom Championship against the Hood Ninja, Isaiah, of IWA Mid-South notoriety in the past. And then I don't have anything next Saturday or Sunday. I would pull up my calendar, but I'm scared that you guys are going to lose me again.
That's okay.
On Twitter, at _ChipDay88. I'm on the Instagrams as ChipDay88, Facebook ChipDay88. I'm pretty sure my YouTube channel is DoXorXDie88 because, I mean, I'm not a straight edge kid, but I guess I decided to make my YouTube channel like I was a scene kid for some reason. What else is there? Oh, you can buy all my merch at www.fullygimmicks.com. They make amazing stuff, and I'm actually going to have new stuff dropping this summer. So yeah, buy my stuff.
Quick question here. Somebody wants to know, the Electric City Saint on YouTube wants to know, does Chip still do wrestle matches for AWE? The first match I ever seen from him was from that promotion. You still do AWE, correct?
Oh, yeah, I just did AWE Monday night. I was in a 30-minute Ultimate Endurance Championship Challenge with Martin Stone and David Starr, which garnered some high praise. That match is crazy.
And you got a big match against Tim Donst up there at Nova Pro coming up here soon, correct? Right,
on
up
the
in
19th.
Northern Virginia.
Yeah. I knew I was trying to pull out. Oh, and I'll be back at so I'll be at Nova on the 19th. I'll be at CWF Mid-Atlantic on the 20th. And then I might be lurking around at PWX on the 21st.
I got to be honest with you. I really want to go catch a Nova Pro show, but they're just I'm in Southern Virginia. I'm about 45 minutes north of Greensboro, and they only run like the DC area, so it's just not in the cards for me. Good luck with that traffic traveling around there, man. Oof.
No, I'm leaving the night before.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't blame you if you drove overnight, because up in D.C., if you're not pulling through there at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be stuck in rush hour traffic no matter what time of day it is.
Oh, yeah. I experienced that back last summer. It's ridiculous.
So you're going to be back at CWF on the 20th. That's probably the show I'm going to go to. I'm going to try to make it out there for that. They have another show in that building on the 13th, but I believe it was the 13th. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But the 20th, I'll definitely try to make it out there. Chip, thank you for braving the cell phone signal, and thank you for taking time out of your day to taking the time out of your day to do this interview. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Stay on the line with me here for just a few moments, okay?
All right,
folks, 1650 PWAM, 1650 PWAM. That's Pro Wrestling and more. You can follow us on Twitter at 1650 PWAM. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Joe Pillar to Post. Folks, thank you so much for watching and or listening. We'll see you down the road.